New York, and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
He's back. Lil Rel Howery, ladies and gentlemen, except this time he's promoting his own sitcom.
Yeah, man.
On Fox this Sunday, a sneak peek. What does a sneak peek of Rel mean?
They're basically just showing the first episode. Networks haven't done that in a while, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of classic.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, all right.
And that's got to make you feel good, too. Just for off top, when they're like, hey, we're going to run you after football.
Yeah.
On...
That's crazy. I mean, it's still... I guess I'm still like I'm almost like, why y'all do that? Like, you know, because I'm saying they ain't done that in a while, so I'm still kind of shocked they did.
Well, you come in from a situation that I found fascinating, which was Jerrod's show.
Right.
Carmichael's show, we always joked here, and I tried to ask him about it. I believe Jerrod's Illuminati.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Why you think
I
that?
believe Jarrod Carmichael's Illuminati. He won't tell me any of the secrets, unfortunately. But no, just because that show was one of those things also where it just popped up, and it was such a crazy, awesome look for what was relatively a new
That's what I
name.
was saying. If he was an Illuminati, should they cancel him?
Damn, Rel, I thought you're not Illuminati either, I guess. We don't understand how these things work.
Like, you can't get a canceled show, you an Illuminati. I don't think.
That's a good point. But take us through that experience, though, first. He had told us a little bit about how he'd always just been a fan of your work, I think, in the comedy scene in L.A., right?
Yeah. Well, he met me at the comedy scene in L.A. I'm from Chicago, so that's where I came up in comedy at. But I was just doing a comedy store one day, and the skinny kid with a little weird afro walked up to me like, yo, I'm a big fan. I was like, all right, cool. And I walked away from him.
Yeah, he told us that.
But then I saw him again, and I'm like, yo, he's a real comedy fan that I watched him go up. And we had, like, our first conversation was just a really good comedy conversation. And I look, like, comedians I'm cool with now and good friends with, well, all people I've met that love comedy as much as I did. Like, he was another comedy nerd. Like, it wasn't just like he was just doing it just to be doing it. He specials, different. Like, it was like, oh, the conversation was insane, which is why we became close. You know, and when he told me he was gonna do a sitcom, you know, Jerrod's such a chill dude. He's never excited. You know what I mean? Like,
he's very even.
He's very even. I'm like, dude, you got to deal with NBC to do your own show. Like, yeah, man. Like, why you sound so sad? But he wanted to do a classic version of a sitcom, live studio audience, straight Norman Lear style. And he honestly pulled it off. That's why, like, I knew once we kind of knew Carmichael's show was coming to an end, and we was having those conversations while we were shooting season 3. Like, yo, you know I'm going to try to get my own show probably, and it'll be dope if you do the show with me. You know what I mean? So, you know, now we got my show, and he's producing it with me, and it's really dope.
So was your show... what was the order of your show coming together? How did it come together between the end of the Carmichael show, your breakout performance? You do have to say you're a guy who has the quote breakout performance in Get Out.
Yeah, Get Out changed. What Get Out did was make things a little easier, and Jordan said it would. You know what I mean? I remember after the first cut he did, he called me and was like, "All right, well, you may know your price." You know what I mean? Like, whatever you want, man, you tell them the number. Whatever. It was like weird. I'm like, all right, bro, whatever.
Again, Illuminati stuff. I know it.
That ain't Illuminati.
Oh, yeah, that's what they teach
It's
you in
called
the meetings.
negotiating.
Negotiation is a big Illuminati thing. No, but so
I do not think a black person can be an Illuminati. I'm just, honestly,
we progressed a lot, Rel.
If anything is the Illuminati, it's probably the NRA. That's straight up.
You know what? You're probably right. Way to ruin my fun with the Illuminati. No, but it's a really good point, though, because he sees you in that movie and knows, like, right after seeing it, like, yo, your price just went up, bro.
Yeah, he knew that. He knew what he did, man. And it's a very, like, because I remember the first cut I saw Get Out, and I loved it. And I'm like, do I like it because I'm in it? You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't
Was
sure.
it the same ending?
No, it was the original ending. So it was sadder. You know what I mean? Like, the first time I saw it, I couldn't even sleep. I was so, like, angry about, like...
What is the original ending?
Is just the police coming to lock him up. And then I try to get him to tell me what happened. You know, my character, he's just like, whatever, man. You know what it is. You know what I mean? I'm black. I'm going to jail.
Right.
I know I ain't do nothing wrong, but it's what it is. And that's why I couldn't sleep, because it was such a real...
To go through all that and then have it end with this really unrealistic... sad, because I mean,
when we shot it, it was quiet on set. Like after
Right.
we shot the jail scene, it was, you know, I remember the first few takes were really emotional the way we did it. Everybody had to take a walk. Like most of the black dudes, it was, and I'm serious, like literally had to take walks because it was sad. Because it was it's such a reality. It was like, damn. That's why, like, I think Jordan is brilliant to say, okay, this is a movie. We know we get it. We know what will really happen. We see it every day.
Well, and the beauty of it is he sort of gave it to you anyway because when you're in the cop car and it pulls up,
yeah,
that feeling was he's either going to jail or he's going to get shot by the police right now.
Yep.
It entered all of our minds as viewers, but then you gave us the laugh instead, and you got to leave feeling a lot happier.
It's kind of surreal still because, look, I got a bunch of friends that done a bunch of movies and all this stuff, and sometimes you may get a chance to do something that's like really influential.
Yeah.
You know, to make a hero just his best friend. I mean, I ain't Spider-Man or Superman. I just picked him up. You know what I mean?
So true.
So it's just, I thought that was very interesting.
So
man.
at what point did you know Get Out is like special, like icon? This is going to be a cultural game changer because Get Out, I believe right now, we don't even know yet the level of classic it's going to be, but it is going to be an all-time classic.
Yeah.
At what point do you realize like this is different than just a great opportunity?
When we did a premiere, and you know, I went in there, did the red carpet, had a few interviews. When I came out of that movie theater, I was bum rushed by the crowd. And that's why I was like, okay, this is about to get weird.
Things about to change.
Yeah, it's about, and the way the theater erupted while they were watching it, and it's most premieres can be kind of dead. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like I've seen movies do really bad at their premieres with the stars. They're like, damn, this is really
It's
bad.
awkward, yeah.
Yeah. So that energy was crazy, and I'm like, and that's, you know what's crazy? That was the same night afterwards. I mean, me and Joy was talking. That's when he started telling me these other ideas, like these other films he got coming out, man. We thought that was that man brain is, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I couldn't believe how great it was. I'd read about it. I was like, conceptually, this sounds amazing. Like a racial horror to me was just so interesting and timely. But then when you saw the execution of it, and do you get a lot of love from TSA when you're traveling?
All the time. I get nothing but love from. I mean, they still like. I think they love their jobs more because of it, which is very like sometimes like they still make me do everything. Like I don't get a hookup. Ah, man, I love you in the movie, but you got to take your shoes up. You know what I mean? Like it's still got to do all the stuff. But it is a smile. They all like when I see them, they're really happy because I guess nobody. If TSA agents always got bad raps from everybody, like in movies, is usually making fun of them. This is one time like, yo, they do. They're like, they're in charge of saving us, right?
Right. It's pretty. It's actually really important.
Yeah, they have a really
better for worse
job.
So tell us about Rel.
Very excited about this show. Is loosely based on my life and my stand-up material.
So take us through how connected to your life. Take us through that part.
Very in a way. Like I'm interested in not tell. I don't want to tell nobody. I just want people maybe to guess and come up with their own. Did this really happen? Did this? But a lot of it is. I think if you watch my stand-up over the years, you'll see that I've always been really honest about where I'm at in my life in different places. So to kind of see a lot of the material come to life on this show has been very, very fun, man. Like I'm, we 3 episodes in as far as filming goes, and I was just editing the episode that comes on September 30th. And man, so I had Vic Mensa come through.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he killed it, man. So this is gonna be interesting, man. It's really fun watching this cool idea come to life. And then I wanted to make this show I haven't seen on TV in a while. So I'm a big fan of the 90s sitcoms. So I think if you watch my show, you'll kind of get that feel from it.
Is it laugh track?
Not at all.
Live
studio audience, man. I have to turn laughs down on edits, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they'll step on the next joke or something?
Yeah, they step on the next. But they have it so much. Like, when we shot the pilot, it felt like I was shooting my 8th episode. And the cool thing is we on the same stage as the Carmichael show, basically the same staff. Like, it's literally, I just walked. Me and Jerrod was joking one day because he was complaining about what was in the refrigerator. And I'm like, yeah, I asked for that. He's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. The changing of the guard happened. It just showed that, like, yes, I want orange sodas.
So you said that you and Jerrod related because you guys are both comedy nerds.
Yeah.
What is the comedy that you nerd out about the most, and that means the most to you as a kid coming up?
Well, Eddie Murphy, for me personally, was the biggest influence. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one day, like, we'll do this doing Carmichael show. We'll watch around. Like, me and Jerrod watch it Coming to America. We probably should film it, right? Because the conversation, the little things we know, like that, the nerds will notice. Eddie is my biggest influence, which is why, on the show I'm doing more than one character. So every episode I'm doing a different side character. And because I'm, Eddie's storytelling and just the way he does, it's just brilliant to me, man. Like, it makes you miss comedy albums too, right? I think the best comedians are the ones, even if you don't see the video and you just listen to that same special and it still has the same influence because they're able to paint this picture. Those are the best comedians to me, which is, Richard Pryor is the one, who's the legend at that. And then Miles Mabley too, honestly. I got recently, watching Whoopi's documentary, like I ended up going researching even more into her.
Right.
I'm like, yo, she's probably the greatest comedian that ever lived. Just to pull that off in that time, in that situation, she was brilliant.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
I mean, I'm 39. So Eddie is everything. I mean, I totally understand why. Are you more raw or delirious? You have to choose one for the rest of your life. Delirious.
Yeah, it's all delirious because it was just. I mean, I'm Bunny falling down the stairs.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I know. And now, as you get older, I sort of sometimes bleed them together. And then
you
I
do bleed them together.
Yeah,
yes.
and now I realize you're right. So the whole barbecue Aunt Bunny thing is all delirious.
It's all delirious.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's tough to beat.
It's all delirious.
The top of Raw, the Raw has all the Bill Cosby stuff, which is incredible. The Michael Jackson. Oh no, Michael Jackson's delirious though.
Delirious.
Michael Jackson's delirious. Bill Cosby.
That Bill Cosby story is still one of the greatest. Like, think about it. At that time, it wasn't like he was just talking about somebody that fell off. Bill was still Bill. You know what I mean? He went on stage and he said he called Richard. You know what I mean? Like, and it's true.
I know.
It ain't like he was lying. And it's like when I watched that now, I'm like, he was a cocky young dude, man. You didn't care.
Different.
I don't care. You should have called me.
And it's funny. I mean, to me, it's so influential that if you hear anybody basically do a Bill Cosby impression, it's just an impression of Eddie Murphy doing a Bill Cosby impression.
When you remember when he got his Mark Twain Award and he did,
and he busted back out,
man. It was one of those moments like, yo, if he come back, he's still better than all of us.
I know, man. And it was so funny because you knew, without knowing him at all, you know that he was so sincerely annoyed by Bill Cosby and what Bill did to him as he saw it. Mm-hmm. I took intense pleasure in how much he was still petty. And then when he got the opportunity to roast
Hannibal Buress. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, the fact that he still roasted Bill down.
That was classic, yo. Like, I was laughing with Hannibal about it. Like, yo, Eddie said your name in a joke. That's crazy.
That's insane. Hannibal's run's been insane too. Another great Chicago comedian, of course.
Good friend of mine. We just did a show in Chicago with me, him, Chappelle, Vic Mensa, Eric Andre.
Vic didn't do comedy, did he?
No, he just performed.
Okay.
I mean, Vic did F the Police.
He performed NWA's F the Police? Yo, Vic's really serious about it, man.
Vic is wild.
Vic's a wild boy. There's no question about it. But he makes me very proud, man. That kid is he's super special. Where do you at 38 and now you hit your TV show, obviously there's nothing for you to feel any negative way about. Things have gone so well for you.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing you came up the more traditional comedian route.
Yeah.
The game has changed, just like everything else, like just like for me, when people ask me about podcasting versus radio.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the internet comedians, and do you view it as sort of a separate genre? Is it all comedy? How do you see it?
I think it's all comedy, to be quite honest with you. It's, you do have like some old heads like, man, whatever. But I'm like, bro, this is a different time. The internet has changed everything. That's why, everybody's trying to get their own streaming channel.
Right.
Netflix is Hulu, they all changed the game. Networks are like, oh, we got to stream now. We can't just be on television. So it's just a part of like the future. I'm not tripping. One of the great things I think that's happening is when we all communicate with each other. Like I got Jess Hilarious on my show, who was known from the internet first. But
yep. Oh yeah, that's right.
She's an amazing actress. You know what I'm saying? And she's been on the road doing stand up. And same thing with DC Youngfly. He's on this first episode. I respect the cats that want to learn every part of this, and that's what I love about DC and I love about Jess is that, the internet is where they got their start from, but they've learned to go on stage and travel and tour and do acting like. Just learn every aspect of it. I think the vets need to do the same thing. Learn to make these videos and edit and do your own thing. So I think it's made everybody have to be more proactive and not wait to get a deal. They're not giving everybody deals.
But you have to be proud that coming from the traditional route, where like for our at this point, old asses, the dream is what you just hit.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the network show. If you do 7 seasons and make gajillions off of it, amazing. If it lasts for a year and it goes on, you just move on to doing the other things you do. You still did it. Like
I still did that.
It's named after you, bro, on a free channel.
Yes.
So like, are you extra proud though that you did come the traditional route and make it to that point?
Yeah, I'm extremely proud of. That's my own, nostalgia thing. Like everything, most of the stuff I do is based off nostalgia stuff. I mean, that's why like even a movie like Get Out, I wanted to do it so bad because I used to look at Bernie Mac, and he'll do a movie and just kill it, yo. So it's like, yo, I just want to do everything and be really good if it's big or small. I was on the telephone most of the time.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So I'm just sitting there. I wasn't doing much, you know what I mean? but it was impactful, you know what I'm saying? So like I've always taken the old school route of, even the way I do my specials, it was like, from watching Delirious. That's how I did Relevant, you know what I'm saying? It's because I think it works. But one of the great things I'm trying to do is merge all that together. Like I really believe all of us should be working together, and that's what's so interesting about doing the show and having people like Jess and Sinbad and like just merging these different groups. And it's been special because of that. That's why we have a special set. You know what I mean? I think like Jordan L. Jones, who played my brother, like it's just with Sinbad there, he brings this advice, man. Like
it must be just gem after
it is.
gem.
When I tell you, I was on a plane texting him. He's always checking on me, especially after we do an episode. He's like, man, that was great. I'm proud of you. And just the advice is so real. I'm like, man.
He's done it all.
He's done it.
He did the TV show.
He's did it all.
He did the movies. He's did the
toured.
stand-ups.
He's did everything.
He did SNL. He's done everything there is to do, really.
Work with some of the greatest to ever do it and talk to them. And you know what I mean? So the conversations we have are so real that I almost feel like it was one of those divine connections in a way. Like, yeah, Katzen was my dad, but he's like really like a industry dad.
Yeah, wow. Now, it must be also weird to like you have you were doing the show with the Carmichael show where you had a very prominent role on as well.
Yeah.
How different is it though when it becomes Rel? And now ultimately you were like, I want my own show.
Yeah.
Now you have your own show. And every little I know sometimes they're asking questions on set. You're like, bro, I'm still trying to just learn my line. I got to do my shit.
You learn. I remember my director, Jerry Cohen, was telling me, like the first day, he said, Rel, learn to give some of it to somebody else. Don't try to take it all on your own. And me and Jerrod had a long talk about that, too, because it wasn't just because I am in charge of everything. But I enjoy it, too. I like being in charge.
Are you good at delegating it, though, too? Have you figured out which things you can put
I'm learning as I go. I think one of the interesting things is dealing with everybody's personalities. It's so many people doing this. So you got to make sure everybody feels comfortable. You got to make sure there's a lot of...
Are there any important people yet who do a critical job on your show who you really still barely know at this point?
No, because I'm lucky because I took everybody from Jarrod's show.
So you had nice. So you had a basis. That's so important.
Yeah, I literally is almost everybody from his show. Like I swear, maybe like 80% of my staff is from Carmichael's show.
That really helps, though, right?
It helps a lot.
At least from the purpose of just remembering everyone's name.
But it's watching everybody adjust to that too, though, because it's not just Bobby Carmichael, the actor on the show. It's like, oh, this is his show. So if he wants to do that, that's what
we're
it's
gonna figure out a way
be.
to do it. Which is interesting. It's a blessing and a curse, I'm sure. What was working with Tiffany Haddish like on Carmichael's show?
Oh my God, Tiffany I love Tiffany, and I'm so proud of her. I was just talking about her yesterday, but like so we have our long ass FaceTime calls all the time.
Oh, you guys are big on FaceTime.
Yeah, we FaceTimers.
That's very young of you. Young kids are really into FaceTime.
She's in New York shooting movies, and I'm in LA, so I just want to see my friend.
Are you more comfortable? This sounds very old school. And are you more comfortable FaceTiming with women friends than men?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, good.
I mean, it might sound weird to say, but
I know it's stupid. But at the same time, staring this close at another dude's face it just seems like can we just pick up the phone and talk?
It's way too intimate.
Even if it's not romantic with the woman at all, it's still just more pleasant.
With your, because it's thing about we holding this phone and we have.
Because these young rappers, because the reason I ask you, and I think it's funny, is because a lot of the young artists all FaceTime now.
Yeah.
Right? So we feel like it's still, oh, nah, fam, all you do is text. Why would you ever do anything but text? And then I realized, oh, young people don't, they actually all FaceTime now.
I FaceTime my kids. I FaceTime, like if it's a group of family, that's different. Because they'll just sit the phone down. And everybody
starts coming by and yelling at you.
Yeah. That's the auntie way of FaceTime. They pick one phone and everybody talk to you.
That's auntie FaceTime. So true. It's a holiday. You really can't hear anyone. You just kind of mumble. Hey, good.
It's always so. At the FaceTime, it was like that's how old I am. When it was just an ideal on Star Trek, they even talk like that, right?
What?
On the big monitor, and it's on the ship. And
that's the thing that we're gonna not be able. That's why we won't be in some ways able to relate to our kids' generation at all, because they grow up with this. If you have how old are your kids?
9 and 8.
So they've grown up with FaceTime their entire life.
Yeah.
They'll never understand that it was literally, do you remember, you'll remember this, you're a nerd. Remember Dick Tracy when it came out?
Yeah.
Remember how bad we all wanted the Dick Tracy watches?
Yeah. That was nothing.
It was just talking. And that's the Apple Watch right now, except it's way better.
When I saw my kids calling movies old movies that was like, that's still new, like 2004, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That is a weird part. Adjusting to like 2004 being considered old, that predates your kids.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, this is old. Like, this is an old
movie.
movie.
And in your mind, you're like, yo, this just came out.
This just came out, man.
Like if Meet the Fockers came out, I'm like, oh, Meet the Fockers, that just came out. That's like 13 years old or something.
That's crazy, yo.
I know, man. I'm not ready to adjust to it. Anything else we need to look for besides your own sitcom, which is named after you, and it comes on Fox this Sunday night after football?
Rel on Fox this Sunday night after football. In the Bobby Brown story that starts tonight.
Oh, you're in that too?
Yeah.
Who are you playing?
Brian Irvine, his business manager.
Wow. Is your role very serious in that, or is he a sort of funny character?
With me, I'm always giving it a twist. You know what I'm saying? So. I don't know. Like, people have been watching the screen. It's like, man, you were great and you was funny. I'm like, all right. You know,
you just played it the way you
sometimes
played.
I just do it. I'm like, all right, that's it. Next thing. That I got Bird Box with Sandra Bullock coming out on Netflix in December.
Do you call her Sandy?
Did I ever call her Sandy?
That's how you know it's real, is if you call her Sandy.
I think I had to. She's so nice.
That's what I've heard.
She's so nice, man. That was a really fun movie to do, and that's serious. So it's like can't wait for y'all to see that, man. I can't wait to see it. It's like when you do something with Netflix, you don't even see it no more. It's like, can I see it too?
Yeah, it just disappears. Are you sort of still pinching yourself about all of this stuff?
Yes, every day, especially with the show. I was doing a screening in Chicago the other day, which is where I'm from, and I just couldn't stop looking at the screen with the poster on there. It's still kind of like, wow, okay.
That's you.
That's cool. I was like driving past a bus, and I was on there. I was like, this is
in Chicago.
In Chicago and LA crazy. Too. Like it's just interesting. Like, yeah, I pulled that off.
So wow, you went back to Chicago last week, just like Kanye.
I went back a couple of days ago. I was just there. I just got back early this morning.
Did you catch any of Kanye's return to Chicago?
I saw the
WGCI?
The WGCI interview.
What were your thoughts?
I mean, I've been telling people for a while now, because I didn't jump on the pick on Kanye bandwagon.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I was one of the captains of it. That's okay. I understand why you didn't want to jump on.
Well, the reason why I didn't is just because I do think we tend to you could tell when somebody just talking crazy. Like, that's why we got family members, all that talk, and we don't even listen to them. I'm like, when did we started paying attention when people talking crazy? We don't know how to separate when somebody talking crazy? Why does it hurt,
That's
man?
because Kanye's so, honestly, you're 100% right. And we have had that conversation because we talked about this just ad nauseum on the show. And we definitely got to that point of everyone has family members who says crazy shit. But Kanye, I think, has reached such mainstream status that since everyone discusses it, it kind of, there are other people in the hip hop world, for example, that have crazy things happen. Mm-hmm. And we may talk about it here and they may talk about it on other hip hop radio stations, but it doesn't cross into mainstream news. So you're still able to.
Kanye's interesting. I mean, I remember I lost my mom in 2009, right? And I could just see what it looks like to a person who ain't got over that. Like, I know what that looks like. And to me, I don't think he's still, even now, you're watching the last interview, it's just such a cry for something. And, that's why I couldn't jump on him. I'm like, yo, I think something wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's somebody that really did influence my career. College dropout made me feel like I could make it in Hollywood. When Kanye made it, I was like, all right, all of it. We all could get out of Chicago. We drove listening to this album, me and a bunch of comedians.
I believe it.
And was influenced so I didn't want to pick on this dude that I think helped give me the confidence that I can actually come out here and do this. So like, yo, what's wrong? You okay?
By the way, that's totally. Sometimes hearing you say that, it actually makes me feel bad for how hard I am at times on him, because that's a totally reasonable response also.
Yeah.
Because you're right, like it's just such a fine line. When is the line of I feel bad, there's something going on, and then that person in any relationship, that person who you feel bad for, starts saying things that are so bad that you're like, you know what, enough is enough. That's just such a tough line for me.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know where
he
that
shouldn't
is.
talk. He should only talk in his music.
That's the question. That's the biggest question I
He
probably
just
have.
sound better in his music.
And my question is, and this is where you really miss your mom, is who loves you enough to tell you to shut up?
And you got to think about this. Even deeper with him, the way his mom passed is not normal.
No.
And that has to eat away. Like, it's a lot. Like,
But think about how crazy it is, given how his mom passed and then the family that he married into.
man,
How
the man,
interesting
the man
that is.
got a tummy tuck, y'all. I don't know if y'all know that. He didn't need it.
He did not.
That means it's just a surgeon in that house.
Yeah.
Whenever you feel like doing stuff, like, look what my eyes doing. Buzz down. Hey, could you get up, Dr. Jackson? With my eyes. I'm being up. It sounds crazy to say that.
No, but it's true.
But the way he said it so casual, like, yo, do they have a doctor just whenever they feel like it?
I know. Like he was overweight for 2 weeks.
Like, you got a tummy tuck yesterday. Why? What time?
How early? What did you eat for breakfast? That's a really good point. Hey, Rel, it's been a pleasure catching up. You can catch Rel, first of all, on my episode of Open Late this week on Complex. I'm going to have you back on there.
I can't wait to
You
do
with
that.
Ocho Cinco, naturally.
Chad Oko Cinco.
And by the way, next week on my show, I have Jess Hilarious coming on
That's going to be fun.
as well.
Jess
Also
is-
promoting
Jess is
Rel.
Rel, man, this show is going to be... I can't wait for y'all to see this. It's really, I'm tired of looking at it.
Yeah, you've had enough.
I'm ready for other people to watch this show.
Do you think that when it comes out, you'll go surfing social media to see what people are saying?
I don't think I will. I would say this, though. Every screening has been really, like... I was talking to my boy last night because he went to the screening in Atlanta. He called me like, hey, man, you gone down, you know, that...
Were you there?
No, I was in Chicago.
I was about to say, 'cause it's more important to hear about how they do when they don't know you're sitting in the crowd.
You know, you're
too.
sitting in the crowd. So it was crazy watching it in Chicago and how like excited everybody was afterwards. And then it was a moment of me, like, I'm excited about this, but then it's like, damn, like, I guess I ain't gonna really be able to do nothing.
Right.
Anymore. You know what I mean? Like, just get used to chilling now, Rel, because it ain't gonna be like that forever.
Hey, congratulations. Rel comes on TV this Sunday on Fox. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
My man.